Gaming, what was once a wholesome pastime that brought people together, has turned into a degenerate hive of scum and goonery.
Pronouns, gender ambiguity, current day Californian. I had a message open on Twitter while I was saying that, and I actually hit the record button on my microphone. Better delete that.
If Pong dropped today, there would be at least 12 grifting Gooners ready to drop a stink piece on how woke it is that the game features 2 gay protagonists. Go ahead, tell me those 2 sticks could be anything other than schlongs. I dare you. These guys are always complaining about woke culture ruining games and robbing them of every pixel of exposed buttock that they were promised in pre-release materials. So what happens when presenting yourself as a warrior against woke becomes more important than the game itself? When this gooning culture in gaming hits its logical conclusion? Well, surprisingly enough, things get gay. You see, a year ago there was a great battle, and what if I told you that the only way to save your digital waifu from the terrors of war was to watch a passionate scene of lovemaking between 2 anime hunks? Well, today I will be your historian and tour guide as we wade through the sloppy bog of the internet and learn about the strange story of the hentai gacha Gooner game that got super gay. But before we get too deep into this tale of weebs and waifus, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Hellion.Vision, and on this channel we discuss everything from silly gooses to full-blown pieces of human excrement. So if getting down in the internet mud is your style, like, sub, and give that bell end a flick so you're notified of any time I've got hot slop to drop down your trough. Now let's crank out this Gooner's tale of weebs, waifus, and warfare. The name of the game is Orisiries? Osiris? I don't know. I hate the name of the game, honestly. It's a hentai gacha game. And for those of you who haven't been thoroughly destroyed by the internet, hentai is nudie pictures and videos of anime characters. And for those who haven't been thoroughly destroyed by capitalism, a gacha game is a game where you pay real money to gamble at a chance of winning a desired character, weapon, outfit, whatever. It's digital gambling for games, and it's also a way for a game to make tons of money in perpetuity. You know, why have someone pay for your game once when you can give them a free game and have them pay you for as long as they're addicted to the gamble? This means that for people who play gacha games, winning a desired character or item ascribes a personal emotional value to the character or item, since you had to sacrifice something real just to get it, more than just your time. You had to sacrifice some real money. So when we combine these 2 things and create a hentai gacha game, what we end up with is a game where you gamble real money for a slim chance to maybe see nudie pictures of a desired anime character. Now, by this point of the video, you've surely decided either, no thank you, this sounds too internety and weird and I don't want to know anything about it. Or, no thank you, this sounds too internety and weird and I want to know nothing about it. But I am a goddamn deep-sea diver making their way to the darkest depths of debauchery. My thirst for esoteric knowledge can only be quenched by the most strange and depraved tales the internet has to offer. I suckle at the teat of the bizarre and seek only the milk of madness. If you were literally just thinking that, then this one's for you. Stick around. You're gonna like this video. But now, back to the game. Orisiries. I hate the name. It's hard to say. Make your name stupider for my dumb brain, please. That's my first request. Second, I have to admit the whole premise of this game really baffles the shit out of me, okay? I'm no prude, all right? However you want to flog your dolphin in the privacy of your own home is absolutely fine by me. I just am confused as to why gambling has to be thrown into the mix. Like, all right, you know what? Let's learn what this game is before we get too baffled by the concept. You know, maybe there's something that we just don't understand about it. So I learned about this game after being served an ancient Reddit post all the way from last year's Pride, June of 2024. The title of the post read, "The Hilarious State of Orisiries, a Hentai Gacha." Naturally, I thought, why? Why does each day begin with the maw of hell spewing forth a new trial for humanity to fail? Also, this might make for a lark of a video, so I once again let Reddit take the wheel, and it imbued me with forbidden knowledge that no one should have to live with. I now pass this knowledge on to you. The post reads as follows. Disclaimer, I don't play the game myself. I don't endorse any practice in the game, nor do I have anything against hentai games, gay prom, or any kink whatsoever. I have a friend who will play the game. So I feel like that's like the modern dystopian equivalent of being like, I read Playboy for the articles, certainly not for the nipples and hoo-haws. Edit, I knew you guys would meme on me for this. I deserve it, but I was not lying. Okay. And I have seen reports about it. I'm posting just because I think it's meme-worthy, and hopefully people can have a good laugh over it. So, here goes. Orisiries... Oh, fucking shit, man. Orisiries is a straight male player-oriented multiplayer hentai gacha, SLG, published by Taiwanese developer Night Fun. In this game, you pull characters, train them, assemble an army, and battle with other players. Now, there are two ways the hentai part works. You raise character affections by sending gifts and then sex them. The winner of the battle captures losers' characters and sexes them. Okay, so there's also like, there's like a domination side to this, right? Like, is that just me like being the overly woke friend right there? But anyway, okay, let's keep going. Sorry, getting distracted. Sex play is an integral part of the gameplay. You get in-game resources from them. So you get, resources that you can use to upgrade by having sex. Okay? The game, of course, promotes the female characters. The character pool is of mixed gender, however. Most 5 stars are female. It's a roughly 1 to 10 male to female ratio. However, there are 4 stars and most of them are male. Now you may already see where this is going. Now I have no clue where this is fucking going. Most of this is like a different goddamn language, but let's see where this is going. Because I do need it spelled out and explained to me like I am an old idiot, because I am. Due to the low gacha rate, most players have more male characters than female. Moreover, many players don't like the idea of sending out their female characters to be captured and sexed by other players. So most players send out all male squads to battle. The result is everyone's prison is filled with male characters waiting to be sexed. You have to do it because of the in-game resources, and there is no option to release them directly. And there are animations. So basically what this means is that because people don't want to send their waifus out in battle and have them stolen by another male player, they're sending out their studs. And because of this, everybody's jails are full of men who are waiting to be porked. And you have to watch the scenes of these men porking each other because like that's how you get the in-game resources. And I guess you can't skip the cinematics. So, these guys are playing this game and are inadvertently put in a situation where, they got to open their minds a little bit, It might not be something you want to watch, but, yeah, you don't want those resources. I mean, what are you going to play a game where you don't watch people have intercourse? I don't know, man. Players are joking that this effectively becomes a gay hentai game. So in a follow-up post, more information is given on like how this even happened in the first place. And it says, the game was released as a closed beta test for around 10,000 players. But the server crashed on day 1 and the devs had to delete the players' data and restart with 2 servers. They refunded all the currency spent and compensated with gacha pulls, right? Meaning players lost everything, but they were given like money to hit the slots, right? And see if they could get new characters or whatever. But in the gacha pulling, right, I guess because of the how common the male players were and stuff, people were pulling a lot of this one unit called Leon, which is, some dude. I guess players were upset overall because the game was marketed towards gooners, right? Guys who wanted to see dem anime titties, and they ended up seeing dem anime wieners. So the CEO ended up apologizing, and the apology is great. It's kind of hilarious. It's translated, right? So take it with a little grain of salt, but I think we get the main gist from it. Here's what the apology says. Actually, before we read this apology, like from the CEO, it did get me thinking, like, what is the workplace for a hentai gacha gooning game? Like, you know, like, what are the roles of the people that work there? Are there artists who just work on, you know, work on the wieners? Like, are there dudes that are just doing the wiener polygons? Are there nipple specialists? How does this work? Is there an HR? How do you, like, even have HR when you kind of have to go to your boss and be like, do these titties look great? And they have to be like, well, make those titties bigger, sir. So the whole office structure kind of baffles me. And I'm genuinely curious how the workplace works for a game like this. It kind of blows my mind. But anyway, here's what the CEO said. This is a man with a heavy heart before going to bed, hitting up the old Facebook and making a post for his loyal player base. So this is what he had to say. Before I get ready to go to bed, I want to write down some of my thoughts for everyone. First of all, we did not expect such enthusiastic participation in the closed beta test of Wanyuan Shangmo Lu. We also collected a lot of opinions and data yesterday, which was a great help for our team. Thank you very much for everyone who participated, test players and fans. Next, I will first personally respond to some of the questions that have been loudly voiced. You know, when someone says loudly voiced, like, there must have been crazy tweets being like, I'm tired of dicks. I want to see these dicks all the time. So here are the loudly voiced questions. 1. Drawing Leon in the chaos caused dissatisfaction. I think this opinion is most important to pay attention to. After all, male players account for the majority of SLG National War Games, and it was our mistake to include Leon in the initial closed beta test pool. Since the development of New World Carnival and Project XXL, which I'm pretty sure those are like gay gacha games, has made our team too receptive to male characters. We should not ignore the feelings of ordinary male players because of our own acceptance. So he's like, I'm sorry, my team is so woke. They love to watch them all do the thing, man. You know, we're out here working on these gay gacha games. I love that they do different gacha games. Like, they're not just doing Gooner gacha games, they're doing gay gacha games too, man. This is fucking equity. Good on them. I like to see it. We will make adjustments to prevent players from drawing Leon when they are not expecting it, but to allow Leon to be drawn or purchased when players are expecting it. Again, it was never our intention to intentionally disgust players, not even once. Damn, that's how you know the comments on this shit were like, I don't want to see this gay shit. Like, dude, I don't know. I feel like people, it's just so... I'm trying not to judge this Gooner gacha game, right? Like, if this is how you flog your dolphin, this is how you beat the meat. Right on, okay? Good, that's fine, I guess. But like, the mixing of the capitalism and the gooning and then the like complaining like a customer, like, you know, get this gay shit out of my game. It's all very strange. Again, it was never our intention to intentionally discussed players, not even once. It's just that our Shida development team is too accepting of gender issues, which leads to a disconnect with players' ideas. This is something we will review carefully in the future. Thank you for your advice. So the CEO made his apology. It seems like it was accepted just fine, and a year later the game is still running and the Gooners are still gooning, and you know, it's really not that surprising, right? I mean, first of all, it's, you know, a game where you gamble, and gambling is highly addictive. Then there's also people who, you know, can't get out of the goon. They're just like lost in the goon. And that's, you know, I think like this new kind of addiction or something that's kind of like rotten people, or I don't even know, man. I'm kind of unfamiliar with those sort of things that are going on, you know. I feel like these afflictions, you know, these things that are difficulties for people weren't really hitting my generation very hard because the internet was so new. We didn't really have stuff like this. So I'm a little like perplexed by the whole thing just in general. But ultimately, you know, like I said, it's gambling, so it's going to get you addicted. And these gacha games just depend on whales, right? A couple people or like a few hundred people that spend so much money on the game, like their whole lives revolve around the game, you know. And it's kind of weird that these companies will make games that pretty much revolve around getting you addicted to something, right? Like a gacha game is designed to hook you, right? It's different than other video games because other video games are trying to maybe express some artistic statement, or maybe they're just for fun or whatever, but you buy them once and you play them and that's it, you know? It's changing a lot these days where there's a lot of purchases in games, but a gacha game, things like this, it depends on perpetual income. It depends on somebody basically relinquishing a part of their life and their paycheck to this thing. So like, I inherently kind of have a problem with that. Like, I feel like the people who make games like this are a little unethical for doing so. But again, it's not something I know a ton about. So I can kind of compare it best to gambling, you know, but ultimately I feel like it's just, you know, the logical conclusion to late stage capitalism, right? When there's no incentive for humanity in something that you do, the goal is just to get money from people no matter what. So, I mean, it just turns into this weird thing where it's like, there's nothing wrong with flogging the dolphin, like I said, but, you know, when late stage capitalism is involved, just weird stuff goes down, you know? Weird things get turned into products, and I feel like it leads to the commodification of the Gooner.
This shit has gone too far, starting with the single bar. Watch I like to make a sound, let's commodify a Goon. Exchange a chance to win, give the waifu wheel a spin. Buy more tools, one more time, now your credit score is mine. Sex sells, so what's next? Anything to get your check. Be your patience of desires. Set your finances on fire. Commodification of the Goon. The game takes one thing to say. We bring your life and then bring your brain. Make sure you're fully addicted. Trade your funds out or infected. Shady fucks make games to buy you. Lady